Hello everyone, and today we're back into another top 5 video, and we're going to be talking about the top 5 Drop of Youth Loomians in all of Loomian Legacy. So Drop of Youth is an item that increases the defense stats of pre-evolved Loomians, basically making a lot of pre-evolved Loomians really bulky. And these are some of the bulkiest pre-evolved Loomians in the entire game, so let's head right onto this list. Number 5 onto this list is going to be Poth. Poth makes the list because of a great defensive typing. Water Toxic is one of the best defensive typings in the game. It has Icicle Traps and Poison, Rejuvenate, and Sharp Edges makes it so it can actually damage melee attackers. It has very good bulk. I mean, it has solid defenses for a pre-evolved Loomian and a really good health stat, which makes Poth really bulky. And while it doesn't have any good attacking moves, the fact that it can poison the opposing Loomians, place Icicle Traps, and a healing move, makes Poth really hard to beat. I mean, it can even live super effective hits really easily, and that says a lot. It lives Protagon Thunder Strikes. That's kind of nuts. I mean, look at this. I was able to stay in, poison the Protagon, and live the Thunder Strike really well. The Protagon's Thunder Strike two-shots me if it gets a melee attack boost. And this thing is just a really good pre-evolved Loomian in general. Jamie showcased this in the past, all the way back in 2020. It was really good back then, and it's still a very good pre-evolved Loomian today. And since it has a great defensive typing and really good bulk, makes the Drop of Youth on Poth really effective. And that's why Poth is number 5 on this list. So yeah. Number 4 onto this list is going to be Macaro. Macaro is insane. For a pre-evolved Loomian, this Loomian has a base stat of 101 base defense. For a pre-evolved Loomian, it even has a health stat of 71, which is above average for most pre-evolved Loomians. So when you combine the Drop of Youth with its 101 melee defense and Body Crash, this thing hits super hard. This hits even harder than Surkame because of the Drop of Youth. I mean, a middle evolved Loomian has triple digits in its melee defense. And then when you combine that with the Drop of Youth, makes Macaro so tanky on the melee side that it can't even die on the melee side. It also has Rejuvenate, has Frostbeam for coverage, and can even set up Brace, making it even more bulky. And since Body Crash uses your melee defense and not your melee attack, you actually hit super duper hard in return, and that's why Macaro is higher than Poth. It also has a very good secret ability, making it so you can actually soak status conditions, and then you can swap out and get rid of it. It's really good for Macaro. Macaro is definitely a very good pre-evolved Loomian, and probably one of the best Drop of Youth Loomians because of that high melee defense. And then when you combine Drop of Youth on top of that, this makes Macaro so hard to beat, and it definitely deserves to be on this list. Number 3 onto this list is going to be Dorego. Dorego was nerfed recently, but the reason why Dorego makes the list is not just because of its good bulk, but its ability to absolutely sweep as a bulky offensive Loomian. Its bulk has been decreased recently, but it still has a really high health stat. So if you use a robust Clever Set, put all your TPs in the melee and range defense, and fire a couple Draco Beams, your Dorego is going to be very dangerous. I mean, its coverage is fantastic. Everyone knows how good Dragodyne is, but Dorego is basically that, but it hits a little less harder, but it's a lot more bulkier. That's what makes Dorego really scary, and it has fantastic coverage. It even has Slumber, so if it gets in a rough situation, you can heal your health back with Slumber, and that's what makes Dorego so freaking good. It's one of the few Loomians that actually has a lot of offensive pressure as well, but the Drop of Youth that you put on the Dorego makes it so it can actually live a lot more hits, because you gotta keep in mind, Dorego does have a relatively low speed stat, and it kinda needs the extra bulk in order to be very dangerous. It definitely is one of the best pre-evolved Loomians in the game, and it was probably the best pre-evolved Loomian before the nerf. Ever since the nerf, it's still a very scary Loomian, but I do think there are 2 pre-evolved Loomians that are a lot better with the Drop of Youth. And that's why Dorego only makes number 3 on the list. Number 2 onto the list is going to be Odasho. Of course Odasho is going to make the list. Its defenses are really high, has an amazing defensive ability, has Tamp, This thing is fantastic. It also has Poison Barbs, Pestilence, Sap Plant, Return to Sender, Life Drain, Hypnotize, Provoke, Talent Trade. There are so many different moves you can run in Odasho, and Odasho is so good that it's actually better than its fully evolved form in Spreezy. Mainly because of defensive priority. Having the +1 in its melee and range defense definitely helps a lot. And even though its overall bulk isn't quite as good, when you combine that with Drop of Youth and a +1 melee defense and range defense, makes Odasho extremely dangerous. And then when you use your support moves like Sap Plant, Dodge, Pestilence, Return to Sender, Odasho is really tough to beat. The only way you could properly beat Odasho is with barbs or icicle traps while having driving spores. Because otherwise, this thing is just going to sit in and soak super effective hits. I guess also critical hits can beat it, but you need a lot of luck in order to get the crit. So, it's not really reliable. Odasho is one of the best pre-evolved Loomians in the entire game. And it's one of the best Drop of Youth Loomians in the entire game as well. But it doesn't even lay a finger on number 1. But it still deserves number 2. The best Drop of Youth Loomian in all of Loomian Legacy is Purge. Purge is so good, it needs a nerf. The 2v2's Purge, let's not even talk about how OP the 2v2's Purge is. Its defenses are really high on both sides, and even though it doesn't have a good health stat, has Luster Loop to gain health back, and with the Captivating ability, makes it so the opposing Loomian can set up for free. Yes, Captivating is bait as an ability, making it so you can have the other Loomian as a setup sweeper, and you can have a Dusket and a Deludrix on the field, but that Dusket can't do anything to the Mutagon because the Dusket's always attacking the Purge. 2v2's Purge is the most overpowered pre-evolved Loomian in the entire game, and no pre-evolved Loomian even comes close. Even as a singles Loomian, Purge has so much to go with it. Has Luster Loop to gain health back. Has Spike to destroy other Loomians' HP. Has Hazy Shroud to get rid of everyone's abilities. Has Gust to get rid of barbs. Has Peace of Mind to set up. Has Magnify for setup. Has good coverage. Purge is amazing, and it's by far one of the best pre-evolved Loomians in all of Loomian Legacy, and it definitely needs a nerf at some point. But it definitely is number 1 on this list. Here it is, the best Drop of Youth Loomian in all of Loomian Legacy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there are some other Drop of Youth Loomians that I missed, tell me in the comments below. Keep in mind this list is mainly about the Loomians which are good with Drop of Youth, and keep in mind that not all pre-evolved Loomians are good with Drop of Youth as their item. So yeah, that's the end of the video, and I'll see y'all all later. Bye-bye!